Right, today we'll learn about verb. Uh, a sentence cannot complete without a verb. Okay, so normally there are two types of verbs. One is called an auxiliary verb, or which is a helping verb. So this verb will depend on something else to complete the sentence. For an example, if you have a look on am, is, are. So if you say I am a boy or I am a girl, so if you just say simply I am, it doesn't make any sense because it is waiting for something else to finish the sentence. So anything which is am, is, are, was, were, will, shall, can, should, could, might, would, must, do, does, did, have, has been, have been, had been. Any sentence where you see any kind of words like this, those are verb, but those are auxiliary verbs. Okay, they are also very important, but they are depending on something else too. So for example, he will eat rice. So over here, he will. So he's depending. He will. If you just simply say he will, it doesn't finish the sentence. So he will do what? He's gonna. Will he play? Will he finish work? So he will do something. Say he will eat rice. So over here, will is an auxiliary verb. Or if you say, I have a pen. Over here, have is an auxiliary verb. Okay? Or you can say, I have been waiting for the last 2 hours. So have been is an auxiliary verb. Okay? Or he was there. Was is an auxiliary verb here. Okay? On the other hand, the main verb, they do not have to wait for anyone else, so they are independent. Okay, and that also means an action. So that means if you simply say that word, that has a meaning to it, like am, is, are, it doesn't really have any meaning on its own until it connects with something else. But whereas the main verb, if I just simply say it, you know what I'm talking about. If it's a cook, each and every word, it has its own meaning. Okay, and if you say something, if you find something, or if you say by using those words, for example, I eat noodles. Over here there is no am, is, are, nothing, because you don't need them, because I eat noodles, that completes the sentence. So over here it is an action, so it is doing something, it tells you that you're doing something, so that's a main verb. Or I like TV. Or okay, I like watching TV, or I like TV. Over here, like is a verb. I cook noodles. I play music. He jumps. Okay. I learn to play cricket. So anything you see over here, there are like thousands of main verbs. Okay, if you have a look around, anytime, whenever you see someone is speaking, if you speak, that's a verb. Okay, so it's an action. Okay, play, that's a verb. So anywhere, wherever you hear anyone talking, they have to use either a main verb or an auxiliary verb. Clear? So can you please write down 10 just write down 10 lines which has 10 auxiliary verbs in it. So 10 lines of auxiliary verbs and another 10 lines which has main verb in it. You might be confused. You might be saying, okay, I am playing football. So what is that? I mean, is that an auxiliary? I mean, because you have I am there and playing there. So what does it mean? Okay, that's actually present continuous, which we'll talk about a bit later. But over here, I am playing football, or I'm playing music. Over here, am is an auxiliary verb, and playing, it is also a main verb, but it has ing in it because it's a continuous, because you're doing something continuously. Okay, but we'll talk about that in details when we learn present continuous. But for the time being, make it very simple. Just make sure whichever sentence you use, it has either an auxiliary verb in it or main verb in it, or in some cases you might find there's an auxiliary verb in it and then there's an uh, ing with the verb. So for example, I have been waiting for the last 2 hours. So you see the wait is a main verb, but then you have to put ing there. So I have been playing. I have been speaking. He has been talking. They had been waiting. Okay, so that is also that's also auxiliary verb. Plus, you also need to put ing with the main verb. Okay, so make sure those have two things in it. When you learn tense, we'll talk about that more. Okay, so can you please write down 10 auxiliary verbs and 10 main verbs, and make sure just you make them as sentences as well. So there should be 20 sentences, so I can check. Okay, bye.